Hey everyone, Steve Grogan here, founder of Geek Wing Chun. Today's video is first in a series that I'm going to call the Focus series, which is just what it sounds like. It's about one specific technique, could also be theories from the style, and today we're starting with one that a lot of people know from seeing Donnie Yen in the Ip Man movies. This handout here, the Man Sao. If you've never been here before, we give free training tips and ideas for people who want to get better at Wing Chun but can't make it to class as much as they like. So if that's you, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. You'll be notified when we have new footage out. You can't really say, I don't really think I can say this is a training tip. It's more of an idea, different from the way I usually use the word idea on the channel. Like, oh, here's an idea. Have your wife push on your chest while you're in EG to test your roots. This is a different kind of idea. This would be more like giving you interpretations of Man Sao to think about, okay? Or any of the techniques in the Focus series. Excuse me, something bothering me off camera there. All right, my OCD, I had to do something about that. Anyway, Man Sao, unlike the way you see Donnie Yen hold it in the movies, is not, and this is Wu Sao, by the way, this is not, people think this is the Wing Chun guard, myself included, but it's not. It's not like a boxer's guard. Okay, it's not like a boxing guard. It's not meant to be that. People think it is. Not only the public, but even some Wing Chun fighters, the ones you see in MMA fights on YouTube, who usually get their butts kicked because, like, I used to think there was nothing wrong with the guard with your hands being here. I even have an older video. There's nothing wrong with the Wing Chun guard, or what people think is wrong with the Wing Chun guard, because I thought, oh, you're just about equidistant from having to block body or head, right? But the thing that I found from the sparring I've done at the Chinese Martial Arts Academy is when you're like this, you have to respond to everything thrown at you, since you never know what could be a hit, a real hit, you know. So if someone is feinting over and over, well, even if that's a light tap, hit over and over in the face with that would still be not only annoying but detrimental to your ability to keep fighting, right? So you would have to keep going slap, 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 and then they would go like this, and then boom. So you'd be like, huh? Well, hopefully you're not going that far past center, but you know, you'd be doing that, and then their other one would crash over the top and you're unconscious. So I don't frown upon the idea of a Wing Chun person who wants to go pressure test themselves in a sparring class. I don't frown upon them doing this, because, I mean, if you want to be like, oh, you're not doing pure Wing Chun, is there not the part in BOG where you go like that? Granted, your hands don't go like right to your head, but they can be interpreted that way. That's something you got to keep in mind. Just because a move is in the form this way, or whatever way, forms are a guide and they can be interpreted. However, as long as you can prove it, you know, you can't just say, oh yeah, I think Boxer is meant to be, I don't know, the death touch or whatever. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up right now, but it's just a guide. It's not set in stone. That, no, it's kind of like you got law books, right? Even the US laws that are written in these big, huge books with fancy, confusing language. Just the way it's written on the page doesn't mean you can't interpret the law in a different way, and people do all the time. The cat's annoying. Yeah, I know. But Man Sao doesn't stand for guard hand. Wu stands for rear guarding hand. But even if you're doing this, well, isn't this a rear guard? Yeah, it's not down here like in the form. But again, intention is what matters, not, say, like direction. That's why, like, if you think Pak Sao is only this, I don't agree. If a punch comes in low and I do that, that could be a Pak Sao. Yeah, I mean, if you're pinning it against their arm, then it's Gum Sao. But anyway, off the topic. So, well, off the technique, I should say. Man Sao seeks to establish a bridge with the opponent. That's why it's not I'll show you here why it's not a guarding hand. Okay, why it's not fixed in that one rigid position. Let me tilt you a little more here. The opening move of the dummy form. I'm sorry you can't see my wonderful face and head and whatever there. There we go. Opening move of the dummy form. What did I have to do? Well, for those of you out there who think the Man Sao is this just down here in front like this, I want you to note, in order to do it, I had to lift. It wasn't like I moved around until the dummy's arm contacted me. And you wouldn't do that with an opponent. You wouldn't stand here and hope he punched this low. Anyway, you'd have to lift to it, right? So it's got probing intention. That's why it translates. That's why it's called asking hand. I mean, it translates as asking hand because it's called Man Sao. They called it Man Sao because it's got the probing nature. So it wants to gather information, and it can also be used to elicit a response, especially if you use it as a feint, you know, because you could be like, you know. And who's to say it's asking hand, right? Who's to say it has to go only here? Why can't it go to the lower arm? You know? And so, again, that's that. Not a guard. Well, there's going to be one more thing, but I'm going to sum up what I said so far. It's not a guarding hand. It wants to establish contact. It's probing, gathering information. Can be used as a feint, and the way it is generally thought to be used in terms of the structure is the wrist in the center, arm extended. Hold on a second. Arm extended but elbow slightly bent. So not like that. Which is, in a way, is how you think, well, I mean, it makes sense, right? It's how you would feint. So slowly, you know, boom, that's the feint. But instead, boom, there's the Man Sao. Okay? So, there you have it. First in our focus series. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. You'll be notified when more videos are out. The next one is not going to be focus series. They'll be sprinkled throughout the year as I could fit them in, because they already had other kinds of videos planned. So that's all. Thanks for tuning in. As I said, hit the subscribe button, the bell icon. I'll see you in the next video.